Hello and welcome back to another FPL video, and in this video it's all going to be about transfer plans ahead of game week 35. Now 34 has just finished, obviously it's another quick turnaround, so game week 35 is just literally a day away. So we're going to have a look at a few players who I think we should possibly look at bringing in from now until the end of the season, as well as looking at some players who we should really look at, think about and possibly just avoid, if I'm being honest. So then, first up on here, I've got Wilfred Zaha of Crystal Palace, and yes, this does look like a knee-jerk reaction, but I promise you, it's definitely not. Now, I wanted Wilfred Zaha ages ago, around the time Patrick Vieira got the sack, really, because after that fixture, you looked at it and you thought, they've only got Spurs now out of the top six to play. They had great fixtures, and they're scoring goals left, right, and centre. Unfortunately, I didn't go for any Crystal Palace players. So, like your Eze's, your Ayus, I'm missing out on all those returns, which is unfortunate. But Wilfred Zaha is back. He came back the other week. He scored a goal. Now, he did go off again, and he's come up flagged, but I don't think he's going to be unavailable for Spurs. I think he will play against Spurs. Overall, as a season as a whole for Wilfred Zaha, I've got to say, it feels pretty poor, to be fair. 7 goals, 2 assists. Doesn't look too bad. But if this guy wants to go to a top 6 team and win trophies, I feel like he has to score more goals and get more assists. But he has been injured quite a bit this season, to be fair to him. But like I said, he wants that new club. He wants that big club from the sounds of it. And he's going to have to get off to, well, finish the season anyway, to a good end. And it's probably a good time, really. Spurs away is their next game. Obviously, Spurs, they look tough, but reality is they're dreadful. They're leaking goals for fun, really. They've been absolutely awful recently, and they could counter them here. Really go at them, because I think Spurs, particularly their midfield, it's shocking. And so they're centre halves right now. Then they've got Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth look like they're safe. Fulham are on holiday in 37. And then Forest at home. Now, if Forest need to win to stay up, they're going to have to attack Crystal Palace. And that game could be wide open, and he could score in that game as well. So he could easily score in all 4 of these games. Now, the slight issue is he has no double game week. Now, there's going to be a few teams who have got double game weeks, so you're really gambling here. So if you fancy, let's say, going for him, you could have 10 double game weeks and have Wilfred Zaha. That wouldn't be a bad bet to go for, because like I said, these fixtures are good. He's always starting when he is fit. Now, he didn't take the penalty the other day, but I wouldn't think of it too much. He could take the next one. He is on fire. Well, I say he's on fire. He scored 1 goal in return. But he's back anyway. He's a decent price. He could be a good differential to go for from now until the end of the season. Obviously, like I said, there is that issue of no double game week. So then, next up, I want to talk about Brighton. I'm talking Brighton players as a whole, really. If you haven't got any Brighton players, get Brighton players. All I can say. I think you need 3 Brighton players to the end of the season now. Now, I'm not going to go on about the main 4 or 5 that have been talked about. Obviously, Matoma, McAllister, March, Espininan, and of course the goalkeeping situation. Because I feel like we've all talked about enough. And if you want to go something different, I've got these 3 guys on here currently. Now, Pascal Grobe is not the best person to go for right now, if I'm being honest, because obviously he missed the Man United game due to a minor injury, something I didn't see coming. I didn't see any news about it coming, so I was a bit shocked to see that he wasn't in the team, and it is a minor injury. But before all of that, he was obviously starting every game, playing all the time. He's got 8 goals, 6 assists this season. He finally scored this calendar year. He got 2 goals against Wolves the other day, so he's managed to get his goal tally up to 8 goals. He's got 6 assists. Like I said, he's their second highest scorer points in FPL for a midfielder this season. So he's actually scored more points than both Matoma and McAllister. So that's pretty decent, to be fair. Yes, he has got a slight injury, so you might want to hold off. But if he is fit for the Everton game and you want to take a gamble, I don't see why you don't go for Grobe, really. Because he's definitely going to play if he's fit. He's not going to get drops. So you've always got a chance he's going to score. He's very rarely gets taken off in games as well. So that's another positive. On a defensive point of view, I've got Dunk here because, again, like Grobe, he's the second highest scoring defender in FPL for Brighton, behind Eshbaninan. Dunk, obviously captain of Brighton, always going to start, always going to play. Obviously, he's not got many returns in terms of goals and assists, but what do you expect when he's obviously a centre half? Not really a lot. You're looking at clean sheets. Now, there is obviously this issue with the games coming up. Obviously, Everton is a good one for Dunk. Arsenal, Newcastle both away in game week 36 and they're double. Probably not the best if you're looking at getting a defender. 37, it looks nice having Southampton, not so much Man City. And then Aston Villa away isn't exactly the easiest last game of the season. But what we've got to remember is this Brighton team isn't like the Brighton it's been over the years. This team is unbelievable. They play great football, and I think even for Arsenal, Newcastle, Man City and Villa, they will get given a game. So I don't really see any reason why they couldn't keep a clean sheet, to be fair. I think it's highly unlikely though, but I do think they'll score in those games. So the reason I've got Dunk on here is just because he's cheap, and if you want a cheap defender who's going to start, who's playing for a good team, I think he is a decent pick. Then the final one is this young player, Enciso, I think is how you say it. But he's just come into the team really. Well, he's been in the team for a while, in and out though, but he's been getting a run of games recently. Obviously, this might be due to the fact that obviously the gaffer said he's doing a lot of rotation. He has been in the team a lot recently. Obviously, against Wolves, I thought he was brilliant. Got 2 assists in that game. He's been absolutely outstanding. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists. He scored a rocket of a goal the other week as well. He's played as a striker in the game. He didn't necessarily the out and out goal scorer for Brighton. I'd say I think it's Danny Welbeck, and then he plays in like a Matoma March kind of role. I think up in that position. But 2 goals, 3 assists, and he's looked pretty decent today. And he's only 4.6 million, I believe, or 4.5 million for a forward. That is really good. Obviously, if you want put more money in the midfield or get Harry Kane up front with Haaland, then you could have him as your third striker. Cause absolute bargain. If he continues to start, because he's looking really good, then he could be a great differential to go for. So next up, what I want to do is talk about Chelsea players. Now, this is a real difficult one if I'm being honest, and this is not me saying buy Chelsea players at all, because honestly, they're shocking to watch, to be honest. They're just shocking. It's awful. I'd hate to be a Chelsea fan right now, because it's a hard watch. And like Thiago Silva's wife says, we all feel for him, because it's hard, especially at this stage of his career, playing for such a bad team right now. And it's not even like it's a bad team. They're good players, but they're just playing terribly. They've got no leader, no manager. The owner just chucking money thinking that's going to work. And they're all over the place. But the reason why I've got them on here today is because game week 35, they've got Bournemouth away, who I'd consider to be safe, even though I joke around saying Chelsea aren't safe, but Chelsea's fixtures, I mean, if they don't win these next 2 games and they lose the next 3, I mean, God knows where they could end up. But yeah, Bournemouth away for game week 35. If Bournemouth think they're safe and they might be in like party mode, Chelsea could do something there. And I'd say same with Forest. Forest is definitely going to be in the relegation fight still then, but it's a home tie against Forest. Forest haven't been good away really majority of the season, so you'd expect Chelsea to come away with a win in that game. And I'm expecting them to win both of these games. I'm not confident because Frank Lampard's in charge, and my God, he's a terrible manager. But if that's the case though, the next 2 games, if you're looking at bringing players in, I mean, it's a real tough one if I'm honest. The bottom one, Carl Havertz, is their top goal scorer. He's got 7 goals and 1 assist. That's the only reason why he's on there. I mean, he didn't even start in the last game. He had Aubameyang starting. I think he came on pretty much at half time, Havertz, but didn't really make a difference. So in terms of getting a striker for Chelsea, it's a no. For sure, it's a no. They're awful. They haven't got a clue. I mean, I'd start João Felix personally, but he's not getting started, so he's not on there. I know, like I just said, Havertz didn't start, but because he's a top goal scorer, that's why he's on here. And I wouldn't touch Aubameyang. Thiago Silva, if you're looking at getting a defender, he's the only defender I'd even think about bringing into my team. But will Chelsea keep clean sheets? These next 2 games, possibly. They could keep clean sheets against Bournemouth and Forest, but after that, you have to take him out. Now, they have a double game week in 37, and it's both Manchester clubs, and they're both away. So, for sure, that's a no-go. You don't want Thiago Silva for those games. especially if Frank Lampard is in charge for those games. So game week 35 and 36, maybe bring in Thiago Silva. Raheem Sterling's an interesting one. Been shocking all season, if I'm being honest. If you look at that, 4 goals and 2 assists. For a guy that was scoring like 17 goals a season for Man City, he's been terrible. He has been injured a lot, but he's been terrible. Disappointing, shocking. He's been so much of that. But will he start? That's my thinking. Because he could be the man that scores the goals, realistically, in the next 2 games. They have a lot of wing players though, Chelsea. But I'm going for the fact that honestly he's English, and Frank Lampard might trust him a bit more because he's been doing it in the Premier League for years and years. So there's a chance that he could start all of these games from now to the end of the season. But again, if you're looking at bringing any Chelsea players, bring them in now, and for 36 have them. But after that, no, you don't. I know they got double in 37, but you don't touch them. If you got the keeper and Kepa like I have, you leave them on the bench from 37 onwards for the rest of the season. No point, because I don't think Chelsea keep clean sheets there, and I don't think they're going to win. I can't see the last 3 games. I don't think they're going to get a single point, if I'm being honest. That's how. Maybe against Newcastle they might get a point, but I'm not confident at all. I think Chelsea have been absolutely diabolical. But if you want to bring in Thiago Silva for the next 2 games, I can see why. If you want to bring in, go for a gamble on Sterling, because he is highly priced as well. That is the problem with Sterling. Then again, just for the 2 games, and I've just got Kai Havertz on here just because he's the top goal scorer, and then anybody else I just ignore now. We thought about going for Ben Chilwell, but he's been a bit disappointing. But yeah, anybody else, just leave them alone, because Chelsea this season are a write-off. So then my final player I'm going to look at possibly bringing in is going to be Lindelof of Man United. Now I know they've just lost 1-0, so he didn't get a clean sheet recently, but Brighton are a really good team and they're no slouches, so I don't expect United to keep a clean sheet. Most teams probably won't keep a clean sheet against Brighton, but that fixture is done now, and I'm going to be honest, from now to the end of the season, they look good, those fixtures for United. They could easily now come away with 5 wins out of 5, possibly, I'm going to say, 4 clean sheets out of 5 as well as. So you're looking at Lindelof there. He's definitely going to be starting, I believe, all 5 of these games. Obviously, got Varane, Martinez out for the season, Harry Maguire all over the place. So Lindelof is your best centre-half in that team currently right now. Since he's been back into the team, he's been brilliant. He's only 4.1 million. He's a bargain for a Man United defender that's going to start. He's not even 1% owned. Yes, I know he's got no assists or goals or anything like that, but he's barely played this season really at all. And yes, I know he's only averaging just over 2 points, should I say, per game. But again, he's not played that many games. He has got 4 clean sheets, though. And I do think Man United fixtures are just nice. I mean, West Ham away, I think West Ham might think they're safe. Wolves at home, Wolves are all over the place right now. The double game week is Bournemouth away, who I think that they are safe, and they might think that. And Chelsea, if Frank Lampard's still in charge, I feel like that's a comfortable win for them. And then Fulham, I think they went on holiday 2 weeks ago. That looks like it's going to be a comfortable fixture as well as. So you've got a starting defender for Man United. He's dirt cheap, so you can put your money elsewhere into your team. He's got a double game week coming up in 37. Even if you just put him on your bench, a 4.1 million centre half at starts for a top 6 team, I think is a no-brainer, and I definitely think Lindelof is worth looking at bringing into your team. And that's it. Those are my transfer plans then for game week 35. I do hope you like this video, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.